Hi YouTube, it's Catherine Michelle. One of these days I'll go live, but I don't know how to do it. I think it'll be a whole lot easier though because you don't have to save and upload and yeah, because this uploading stuff takes forever. Anyway, just a little bit of an update on what's happening over in the Philippines. This was from a couple of days ago. I just haven't had time to get caught up with the person I've been speaking to. They've been trying to reach me off and on for the last couple of days, but it's life. Get busy. So as of yesterday or the day before, they had 302 cases and then 19 dead. But the worst part of all of that is that 3 of the new deaths were doctors. So they lost 3 of their doctors, which is horrible. I mean, that's just really bad. You can all imagine that, if your medical staff and your physicians are dying, who's going to take care of the people who get sick? So, and not just due to that, but plays a part of it. Pretty much, they're on lockdown now. They sent me like this little paper that they were all given. I don't know if it was emailed to them or whatever, but unfortunately it's in their language and I don't understand it. So they're supposed to meet with me tomorrow, which will be tonight for me, and then translate it for me. But you can tell by what it says is that it limits who can go out, when they can go out. So they have curfews, and they've now made it that if you're over the age of 60, you can't even leave your house. You have to find somebody else to leave your house for you. So they've really implemented some pretty strict guidelines. But the way that their cases are ramping up and the fact that they lost 3 physicians, you can't blame them. It's not at all. They did say, too, that allergy cough. That the equivalent of our FBI is, I guess it's called the NBI. But anyway, they had to raid a medical supply company out there. And the reason why they did that was because this medical supply company sells like the thermometers, thermal scanners to take your temperature. And these normally sell out there for 500 pesos. Well, this company was selling them and gouging their own people for 8,000 pesos instead of 500. So their NBI said, no, you're not. So they went in and raided and shut down the company. So I don't understand this mentality. I mean, you learn about it. We discussed it like in sociology class in college, your psychology classes in college, your medical classes in college. But to actually see it play out, it's so sad that there are so many human beings that do this to their fellow human beings. Instead of helping and cutting the prices to those who can't get there or can't even afford 500 pesos, they're going to jack up the prices. Greed doesn't pay off. And then also, this person I was talking to, they said, do you remember when we were talking and when this all first started and you said, just watch, people are going to start naming their babies COVID? And I said, oh, please don't tell me. And they said yes. 2 of the recent newborns there, one was called COVID Rose and another one COVID Lorraine. It was a joke, but I guess, again, I guess I knew that aspect of human behavior, because every time there's something that goes on, when babies start getting, are being born after that, they tend to give them their names for this, and it's like, okay. So those poor children are now called COVID. But for now, that is the update, and they will, again, they'll fill me in with more of what's going on because it was in the middle of the night for them. So we just happened to briefly touch base. They've been trying to reach me for a long time, and we just kept missing each other. And another thing I'm hoping people are starting to see, because those who've been calling this a joke, a hoax, it's not real. I hope you see now that it is real. You were wrong. The best thing you can do is admit you were wrong and go forward from here. Italy's deaths, as we all know by now, were 800 in one day, and those were the deaths that they had been following. And their, Canadian Prepper was bringing this about, which is what I was saying in China before, in early February. Like, we understand, those who are looking at the real numbers understand that when they say 800, those are the people who were sick that they were following. That does not include people who died at home. That does not generally include people who died from something else. But as a result of this disease, they then died because they either couldn't get the care, or the disease then compromised another part of their system, and then that part of them shut down. So this disease is horrible. It spreads like wildfire. It is very real. And sorry, our wind is blowing really bad. So it's like the coughing has been horrible today. Runny eyes, runny nose, coughing. It's like, this time of year, springtime in the Rockies. So this is what all of us a lot of us go through out here. Oh my gosh, I don't even know if I said that right. Guess I'll figure it out when I watch this. But, and another thing, there have been some videos of, long trains with military gear and stuff on them. And we don't know what that's about. So let's not panic about that yet. A lot of times, if particular units are going to the field, or if they're need to transport it to another facility, or are they going overseas, when you see these military vehicles and equipment on trains, it doesn't necessarily mean something's happening here, And I'm always like, why didn't somebody follow the train? You guys have time to film it. Follow it. See where it's going. And I think that would give us a better indication. But a lot of times, this is very normal behavior. Again, especially when our guys go to what's called the field, they'll go for a month, sometimes 2 months, in the middle of nowhere, and they do these practice runs and stuff like that. And to me, it's like a big camping trip. They don't think so, but so. It might not be something to be concerned about. Not saying it isn't, but I'm saying right now, until we have more information and we can see some solid proof as to where this equipment is going, let's not panic with that yet. And another thing, with the lockdowns coming, it's happening. It's beginning to happen here in the United States. It's like peak prosperity. I cannot remember the gentleman's name, so I swear I watch his videos almost every day. He has been saying, it's like, I've said this before, his little snippet has been before that, it doesn't have to be this way. And he's like, come on, people, get it together. Let's start doing what we need to do, because it doesn't have to be this way for us as the way it's been in the other countries. But now he's had to change it to, it didn't have to be this way. And it didn't. But yet I still see people, like where I live, our cases just 12 days ago, 12 days ago, we had 18 days ago, we had our first case. And in less than 3 weeks, we are now up to almost 500. And we've already had 6, 8, 9 people die. I can't remember. 6 deaths maybe. So I can't remember the full numbers. I haven't looked at them lately. But these are 6 people who weren't going to die. And they didn't have to die. But now they are dead. These are 500 people that weren't sick 18 days ago. Well, okay, some of them might have had it, but you know what I mean? They weren't hospitalized. They weren't, sick with this disease 18 days ago. But because people in America are too darn stubborn, and you can't tell them what to do. Look where we're at now. Look at New York. What, over 12,000, 13,000 cases? LA, almost 3,000 cases. The United States, at last count, we had the highest number of new cases on record for that time frame. Now again, this is probably just backlog of test results coming in, but that should be telling the American people how far spread out this is and how quickly it spreads. And it takes a while to get those test results back. So please, people, if you don't have to go out, don't. There are a lot of people online doing great things. Some are doing their yoga online. Some are doing music online, like free concerts. And these aren't always celebrities. It's just people who have a talent. So they're out there playing music for their friends, for anybody who wants to watch. Talking to each other. Great time for people to get in and start showing your talents. If you can sew, make a project. Right now we're bored. Well, we'd love to watch something. Can you crochet? Can you sew? Maybe you can build something with wood. Maybe you can do a really cool science experiment, something that you do that somebody else can watch, and then, hey, their kids are at home. They can do it with their kids. So let's use our time wisely. Let's do our part. Stay home, stay inside, unless you need to go out. And then that way, maybe we won't have to be shut down, and every city won't have to have the National Guard and the police come in and tell you, guess what, you need to stay home. We're adults. We shouldn't have to be told and babysat. We can see, we can read. Be responsible for those who aren't. So I think that's probably about it for now. And let's just keep saying a prayer. Now is not the time to let your faith be shaken. Bible says that hard times come. But you know what? If you have a strong faith, and I have an extremely strong faith, and I know God is real. I know that. I don't have to say I have a faith. I know it. And because I know He's real, and I know He's alive, and I know He's up there, that no matter what happens here, this isn't my final home. It's not. So you know what? But at the same time, I don't want to be responsible for someone else's demise. So I'm trying to do my best to do my part, stay in, stay home. I don't know how many of you guys have heard of this. And this I've done several of these, but this is the diamond painting. This I bought a long time ago. I don't know if I might have a picture of it, but you use these little plastic things. Let's see if I can get a picture of it. So this is what I'm doing to keep myself busy and occupied. I love arts and crafts anyway. If it's a crafty, something that has to do with crafts, I'm all over it. Oh, okay, this one is going to be, I don't know if you could see that, but it's going to be a dragon when it's done. So there are so many fun things to do. Keep yourself busy, stay out of trouble, and I know I've said that and repeated myself, so sorry about that. But yeah, and for those of you who have super cool talents, start showing us what you got. I know I'd love to see it. Hang in there. Be good. Take care of everybody. When you take care of others, you take care of yourself. Have a great day.